We are back here on the Sports Monarchy, and we got another guest here today. Definitely our coolest guest that we've gotten so far. Devin McCourty of the New England Patriots. Devin, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, no, no problem. Thanks for having me.
You are the first Super Bowl winner, and especially two-time Super Bowl winner, to be on the Sports Monarchy. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right, man.
It's
So,
always good to be the first.
yeah, right?
Exactly.
It's a guy thing. So, let's see here. So we're going to start off with pretty much a lot of times in the media, you never get the good stuff. You always get the crap, right? So let's talk about the McCourty twins tackle sickle cell. Tell us a little about your foundation, what you do with your brother, and, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, so I guess now about 5 or 6 years ago, one of my former teammates, Brian Leonard, from Rutgers, had a foundation, a campaign that he did with Embrace Kids Foundation, which is located right in New Brunswick, where Rutgers is. And, he had put together a bunch of great nights, casino nights, raising awareness and money for kids with cancer. So myself and my brother had a conversation with the director, Glenn Jenkins of Embrace Kids Foundation, and just talked to him kind of about our passion with sickle cell disease and how our aunt and uncle had the disease. And we're very close with our aunt, and, how we were able to just see all the struggles she went through. And we just felt like overall, not many people honestly even knew what the sickle cell disease was or what it affected or who it affected. And he kind of shared the same passion, but talked about how hard it was to start funding. So it really moved pretty fast, just starting with a 5K walk, and then we did 3 blood drives the first year, all in one day. We drove from New York to New Jersey, hitting 3 different spots with blood drives. And now it's just grown where, we have a 5K walk, still the blood drives, casino night in New Jersey. But this year we changed it kind of into a bowling event with a bunch of other different campaigns that, Mohamed Sanu, different guys, and also in the NFL from Rutgers had passions in. We all just combined it, and then also do a casino night in Boston. So it's grown a lot. And I would say the biggest thing that we've taken away from it is the opportunity we get to meet families and share a bond with them and young kids. I've met some kids where they were, 19, 18 years old, and now seeing their young adults, 24, 25, just going through life and finding ways to succeed even with the sickle cell disease.
Yeah, it's awesome. I know that like the first time I really heard about it was actually Ryan Clark. He was the Pittsburgh safety. That was in Denver, and that really affected him. Doesn't like altitudes and all that really affects it, correct?
Yeah, and he doesn't even have the disease. He just has the trait. But even with the trait, playing at the high altitude puts you at high risk to have a sickle cell crisis. And, just for him, he missed a game before just because, it wasn't safe. And the coach said, with that being, the case, just wouldn't play him. And, you can imagine just with having a trait and not the full disease, to go through that is tough. And now you see people who actually have the disease, you see how much tougher it is to try to, play a sport or, for them, just the everyday struggles of life. You often see kids in school miss, 2-3 weeks because they have a crisis where blood just isn't traveling through their body because of the sickle red blood cells they have, make it hard for oxygen to get through. And, they'll just be out in pain for 2 weeks in the hospital, have to miss class. So the awareness and the money we've raised has really gone a long way to help kids and young adults learn how to better manage the disease.
Now, Devin, you and your brother have this amazing cause, and you are both lucky enough to be in the NFL. What's it like being in the NFL with your brother, and what's it like playing against him?
It's cool to I first say talk about just playing in the NFL with him, because when you first get in the NFL and then all throughout your career, you always look for people you can talk to, and it's always hard, especially if you're dealing with family issues or anything, to find someone that just knows what you're talking about exactly. And we've been very blessed and fortunate that since we've been in the league, just to be able to always have someone you can talk to about anything. You talk about training camp and how hard it is. You're not trying to explain because he knows exactly what you're talking about. And I think that's been a big help for both of us in our career. And, just the overall, I would say the best part is just living out a lifelong dream with someone that you dreamed about it with your whole life. So obviously it would have been cool if just one of us made it. We probably would have still been super happy and one of us would have lived with each other for a long time. But, with both of us making it, we get to, really cherish those moments and have fun. And, playing against them has been fun, but very lopsided. So there's not much he can say. There's not much he can say. I'm sure he doesn't like playing against me.
No, we're Jets and Bills fans, so I mean, we've been tortured by you guys, but luckily enough, I have Stockholm syndrome with you guys to the point where I enjoy watching you, and other Bills fans want to murder me for it. But you guys are great football wise. I love the Super Bowl comeback next year, but we'll get to that in a couple minutes. But by the way, didn't your brother almost sign with the Pats? Wasn't that a deal? There's mutual interest. I was just reading about that.
Yeah, it was like some small interest, and it was the one team for him with free agency that if they would have called, he would have signed. He said, right away, because he said really the only team that he would like definitely want to play for, but it just it didn't work out, and it really sucked because I think there was a lot of other years that if he would have ended up a free agent, that because of like the depth and what we had at corner, it'd have been a perfect fit. But, then this year, it's probably been our best year as far as depth and the amount of good players we have at the position. It just wasn't a fit. So he had to go to Cleveland. Hopefully they can win a couple more games than last year with him and my guy Jamie down there.
Do you guys play Cleveland this year?
Nah, not this year. We don't play him.
Okay, so you won't get to shove anything in his face on the field this year.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'd have been easy for my mom to know who to root for. I always tell her to root for him since they probably won't win.
Yeah.
True. Moving on to you on the field, you're very much into custom cleats. Do you have any special designs coming out this year that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, I can't wait. Myself and my brother, our father's birthday is on September 10th, so this year we really thought it'd be cool to, get some cleats in his memory just to wear for that opening weekend. So I can't wait for that. And, I think another cool pair for me is I did my man Polo hooked up a nice pair, him in Heyman Studios for my daughter. Just had my first child. So and honestly, the cleat's unbelievable, just the picture and everything with me and her on it. So I can't wait to wear both of those. And then a nice little collector's thing for me to go along with the Super Bowl trophies is like a special Super Bowl pair of cleats, with the rings on it. So I can't wait to put those on the case and put them in the house because there's probably no shot I get to wear those. Bill probably cut me before I wore those.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be interesting. I mean, it's kind of going in line with this question, like what's your favorite of the two Super Bowls you won? But I mean, how cool is it to play for Bill Belichick and play with Tom Brady? I mean, they're the two greatest, in my opinion, of all time. Like seeing both of them work around you, and like how does that change your mentality with everything? It's got to be awesome. I mean, you're with living legends right now,
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. The best word to describe it is awesome. I've learned so much, obviously, from Bill right away, with him being, a very good defensive coach throughout his coaching career. Just so many little things. One thing that always sticks out to me is just him talking about playing corner and the way the wind blows in a stadium and how to help you on different routes, deep balls down the sideline, stuff that honestly you wouldn't say is the greatest coaching thing. You talk about X's and O's, but to just think that far outside the box and I think he put so much time into finding any way to help his players on the field has been great. And then I think my relationship with Tom, especially once I moved to safety and to be able to get in, his head and him talk to me about his reads and what he sees and what affects a quarterback the most, all those little things. And I've learned so much from both of those guys because, not only have they won a lot, they just do it so consistently that, I think you're foolish to be able, especially for me going on my 8th year, to be in this organization with those two guys at the top and not learn from them. So, I walk away from, football someday and I'll know I have a ton of information and knowledge, just off knowing those two guys and learning and hanging on every word they've told me.
Yeah, I mean, Belichick seems like Belichick. Bill Belichick seems like the guy that, from the outside looking in, he just looks like cold-hearted. But I feel like he's that dude at work who's quiet, but then when you actually like talk to him and get to know him, he's a crazy awesome dude. I've always gotten that impression about him. So,
yeah, I mean, if you get him talking about football, he can go all day. I know you watched like his press conferences, and it looks like the last thing he wants to do is talk. But he starts talking football. Not only will he go all day, he'll drop some gems on you, either with stories from the past or just his thinking and how he views things is very impressive.
yeah, I mean, Tim talking at a press conference is like some dude trying to talk about his side chick. Like he just,
Yeah, it's
like he doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, how many one-worded answers can I give?
Yeah, she's cool. Yeah, it's great. All right, all right. Which one of you have won 2 Super Bowls? So which one was your favorite? I'm going to guess it's the Falcons. Like, that was freaking incredible. But you never know. The Seahawks, when they're both so dramatic, like dramatic-wise, they were both
2 of the greatest games of all time, really.
And insane.
You know what? It's so hard to pick because 14 was so cool, for one, obviously, because it was my first. But it was a lot of those guys on the team had played in the 2011 Super Bowl, then in 12 when we lost in the AFC Championship, and then 13 in the AFC Championship. So it was like, for that group, it was like getting over the mountain finally, because we had, been so close and just always falling short. So that just, and then especially the way the game went, the ball gets all the way down to the 1-yard line. We got to get a stop to win. So, you're just sitting there like, dang, playing in these tough games, and it always comes down to the end. Can we find a way and, to finally get over it, But then 2016 is so special because so much was going on. Tom getting suspended, everyone trying to discredit 14. And then the game was, to me, exactly how the last 2 years had went between 2015 and 16, with it not looking great and obviously a ton of doubt and all of that, and to come back and win. And then I would say that was probably my favorite group of guys that I got to play with, as far as just how much we hung out, how well we got along, just it was a great group. So definitely hard to pick between those two. But if I had to pick, I'd probably say last year, 51, was just a little bit better, I think, just because, all of the guys and how well we got along as a team.
Yeah, you guys won me $40, so I appreciate it.
That's what matters most, right?
Yeah, my $40. Yep, that's way more important than the Super Bowl ring, too, right?
Now, shifting gears into the 2017 season, you guys are wrapping up training camp. What's one Patriots player, either offensively, defensively, special teams, that maybe the media doesn't know or we might not know, that has kind of caught your eye, that you're thinking, wow, this guy might be something, whether it's his first time in the Patriots training camp or it's someone who's been around and you just see him with another motor? Can you name a unsung hero, I guess?
To me, it's always hard, especially I hate putting pressure on guys. But it's always, for me, my position, always exciting to see young DBs come in and play well. And for us, we had quite a bit, DJ Killings and Kenny Moore, 2 rookie corners, both undrafted guys to me that have come in and been very hungry, have played well throughout joint practices with Jacksonville. Now we've been in West Virginia practicing against Houston, very competitive. And then our 2 safeties in our room, Travis and David Jones, have both, been very productive. So those 4 guys in the secondary, I've loved working with. They've kind of hung on to every word and try to learn as much as possible. So I'm very excited for their futures in the NFL.
All right. Well, I think it's pretty much wrapping up everything here. I think we hit all our topics. And What's one question that you've never been asked in an interview that you've always wanted to be asked? I mean, there has to be something that you're thinking at the end of the press conference. Why has no one asked me this, or radio interview? Is there anything out there you can think of?
Honestly, I don't know. I never walk away and say, I didn't get. I want an extra question. Usually, I'm the guy on the team that always has to answer questions. I don't know. I would say the question I get the most is probably the twin questions. So I have fun with that. I just did an interview where we did a quiz where someone interviewed him and then interviewed me and asked a ton of questions on, what we think each one would answer and say. So that's always fun just to see how similar we still are.
All right. Well, Devin, we thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I know you're taking a lot of time out of your busy schedule. I'm glad you got to talk about all this. That's been a great interview. And also, anything else that you want to talk about? Anything else besides your foundation with your brother, or anything like that you want to bring up?
No, that was cool, man. I appreciate a Jets and Bills fan having me on. That's always a rare combination to invite a Patriot. So
yeah, no,
I appreciate the invitation.
We respect what you guys do. It just sucks for us as fans of our team, but
yeah,
so it goes.
I'm 27 years old, man. I haven't seen a playoff game since I was 10, so it's nuts. And
yeah, that's rough.
And the Jets are probably going to go 0-16 as likely as you guys will go 16-0. So
all right, and I need you to pick off Jay for me this year. That's all I'm asking. I'm not a big Cutler fan, so if you can get a couple of INTs from him, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess all I would say is hopefully neither one of you see the playoffs, because that would mean we win the division. So best of luck, but that's how I'm hoping it goes.
No, I get you, man. All right, well, thank you so much for coming on, Devin. There was a retweet with the interview. That helped us out a ton. I appreciate it, but you don't have to. It's just whatever. All right, man. Thanks so much for coming on.
No problem, guys.
All right, take it easy.
Thank you.